Well, welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, the number one crypto show on Rumble, of course, powered by our friends over at Solum Global. We're the crypto bros, of course, George Valentine and myself, Lance Miliaccio. This is your ultimate deep dive into everything crypto, blockchain, and decentralized finance. And we don't care whether you're a seasoned investor or a newbie just stepping into the world of digital assets for the very first time. We're going to bring you expert insights, top interviews, exciting new projects, breaking news, and game-changing innovations shaping the future of digital finance. Because, of course, on this show, in crypto, we trust. My crypto bro. What's up, George? You look like you got a fresh haircut. You're looking tight.
Yep, got one late yesterday afternoon. Was able to sneak one in. Look fresh in the morning for everybody. 7 a.m. Eastern time.
7 a.m. The rise and crack of dawn. First of all, I want to thank everybody for making us the number one crypto show on Rumble. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the live link shares, the comments, the replies, the follows. And that's the thing. That's the drill. Hit that follow button, smash it. Get over here in the comments, leave us comments. If you have a specific topic you'd like us to cover, you can either email us at info@thebigmig.com, or you can jump into the comments, maybe jump into the chat. Let us know. Maybe there's an education piece you'd like us to focus on, and we'll do our best to deliver, because that's what we do on this show. And of course, if you'd like to sponsor the Crypto Power Hour and get access to all these views and all these people that are, big crypto users and the people that are learning about crypto, you can hit us up over at info@thebigmig.com. That's info@thebigmig.com. We're always looking for like-minded sponsors to get involved with the show. And if you'd like to be interviewed, if you're part of a big project, if you're with Ethereum or Solana or XRP or XLM or XDC, or one of the other big altcoin projects, or something else, new technology, get a hold of us and let's get you on the show so we can cover that for the audience and discuss it. We're motivated. Again, you can hit us up over at info@thebigmig.com. The way to do it. Well, listen, of course, lots going on as always in the news cycle. We try to bring the top news. There's going to be some I told you so moments in today's show. It's not because we enjoy I told you so's. It's just stuff that, we shake our heads and go, can you believe this? It's exactly what we said. But what we're going to be talking about today, the education piece that George put together, is Ethereum 2026. What am I talking about? I'm talking about beyond price, 31 billion in real world assets. And it's, it's things that make you go boom. No doubt about it. It's big stuff. And of course, smart contracts are jumping off. But before we jump into the education piece, let's do a quick shout out for our sponsors. Yeah, George and I definitely love our crypto, but we also love our gold and silver. And the guys over at Genesis Gold Group are where we buy our gold and silver. And what am I holding up? It's a 62.2 gram prepper bar. It's perforated, as you can see. You can break off one of those denominations. Easy to make, break off a small piece to make a payment. Let's say your credit cards aren't working. Let's say the US dollar has completely gone upside down and $40 trillion of debt. You got to imagine it's a scary proposition. But of course, the prepper bar is your perfect escape. It doesn't matter whether it's the diversification, asset protection from inflation, or economic turmoil. Truth about the prepper bar is its unique utility for barter and trade. Of course, it's a perfect gift for everybody. It's a perfect gift for preppers, but also your grandkids, your children, your sons and daughters, you name it. Nobody doesn't like gold and silver. And the great part about gold and silver is you can hold it for a lifetime, and then you can pass it on to your children. I still have gold and silver my dad gave me as a child. You can too. You head over to thebigmigbar.com. That's right, thebigmigbar.com. These babies come with an asset report, no counterfeit gold coming out of Genesis Gold Group. You can call them at 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154, or go to thebigmigbar.com. George makes it easy with that QR code. You can snap a shot, go there after the show. Now, pay attention. 2 different promo codes. Big Mig Gold is going to get you 5% off on the gold. Big Mig Silver is going to get you 10% off on the silver. You can use those promo codes on the phone, or you can do them online. Pick up a few prepper bars, because your peace of mind is worth a whole hell of a lot more than doing nothing. You want to have some gold and silver on hand. Thebigmigbar.com.
Break me off a piece of that prepper bar.
All right. Well, the reason we do these education pieces is, listen, man, this stuff is tricky. The more I learn, sometimes the more I feel like the less I know. And there's a lot of top projects. We talk about them on this show, and Ethereum is one of those top projects. And really, you got to think about how these smart contracts are tokenizing $31 billion in real world assets right now. Look, we're going to cut through the noise, right? Like we always do on the show. And we're going to give you the real power moves in crypto. And this is going to be all about the number one most searched crypto on Google and X right now. And that's Ethereum. It comes out at the top of the food chain. That's how we researched what project George was going to do the education piece on. But listen, we're not talking about price charts. We're going beyond the hype, going beyond the prices, and we're talking about the future of this token's utility. And of course, this is changing, finance forever. So the next 30 minutes, you're going to discover first self-executing and smart contracts work, how they actually work, and we'll give you kind of a vending machine analogy to help you do that, just to follow along. We're going to do, why Ethereum is leading the 31 billion in real world asset tokenization. That boom started early 2026. We told you it was going to happen in 2025. It was coming on board. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. And I think what this means for your portfolio, what it means for you and what it means for everyday money and the future of investing, this is all going to be relevant. So for you guys, you want to listen close. You're at work and you got the earbud in. Thank you so very much. We've been growing rapidly on all the podcast platforms. So don't forget, you can find us on our home base Rumble. You can find us on YouTube again. We got back on YouTube. So go over there and give it a follow. You can find us on all the podcast platforms. You name it, we're on it. And of course, you can find us on Locals. So all those are the places you can check it out. And then George does short form content. Don't forget to follow the Crypto Power Hour on X and follow Solum Global on X, because without them, they are the ones who make the show possible. Solum Global is making big moves. They've been having some serious meetings around the nation. Things are looking very good for them. So maybe check it out. There might be an opportunity to invest in the future, and you definitely want to maybe take a look. Not financial advice. Nothing on this show is financial advice. Everything we talk about is to educate you, and then you should talk to your own financial advisors. Okay, so you're trying to, like every project, you're always saying, okay, why does Ethereum even matter? And we're going to answer that for you. Listen, Ethereum basics, you're going to talk about the programmable blockchain. And for you guys out there, Ethereum isn't just digital money. It's not just a store of value. It's a global computer. It's the world's largest programmable blockchain. Let me repeat that. The world's largest programmable blockchain. Now, of course, Bitcoin, everybody hears about it. It's a store of value. It's digital gold, right? Ethereum, in comparison, I would say is more like digital oil. It powers lots of application. It runs on the Ethereum virtual machine, which the acronym is EVM for you guys, if you see that. It has over 176 tokenized real-world assets already live on the Ethereum network. It's already there, 176 of them. And of course, it hosts the majority of DeFi activity and institutional money. So listen, Ethereum, this is my take. It equals decentralized global computer, and anyone can build on it. So these smart contracts plus the D apps, right? They in my opinion, that's what equals real innovation. You're not just sending Ethereum, right? You're looking at the number one choice for institutions in 26 because of its high level of security and the massive amount of liquidity it provides. So George, maybe let's start with smart contracts explained. I think this is important.
Okay, well, smart contract. You know what? I'm going to put up a visual. This way it gives you guys, simplify it for you. Look at the vending machine, right? This vending machine, just think of it, that never needs a cashier. Stop doing that, Lance. Smart contracts, like you got self-executing code. It's going to run on the future. And here's the simplest way to understand it. I'm going to try to simplify this for you guys. Smart contract is just a program stored on the blockchain, right? It runs automatically when conditions are met. No middlemen. No trust needed. Code is law. Remember that. Code is law. It powers everything from DeFi lending to NFT sales to automated payments. Now, I'll give you an example. You send Ethereum contract, instantly releases tokenized gold or pays rental income. It's easy, simple, right? Now, security tools and account abstraction make them safer and easier than ever. Always doing updates. They're trying to make things run smoother. You know, crypto, look, it's evolving. It's something that's always going to be new, that with some new technology or whatever it could be. But that's where we're headed with this. Because this is, you know, we're in the beginning part of this. And if you look at the RWA revolution, tokenizing the real world on Ethereum. I'll put up another graph for you guys so you understand. We like graphs, right? Graphs make it easier. It helps me understand some stuff. Hopefully it helps you guys. You got 31 billion and growing. You have real estate, you have bonds, and you have gold that is now live on Ethereum. This is the 2026 mega trend. Real world assets like real estate, US treasuries, gold, private credit, they're all being turned into digital tokens on Ethereum. Oh, I even got more. Let me bring this up for you guys. I got to do the graphics and talk. So if you look at that, you see the real world assets tokenization ecosystem map. And self-explanatory, it's all on. You have distributors, custodians and wallets, DeFi, blockchain network and protocols, the data and ecosystem, and the platforms. And you can just read that. So RWAs on Ethereum already hit, listen to this amount, 31 billion in May 2026. That's up massively. Massively. BlackRock's BUIDL fund is 2.4 billion. Ondo Finance, tokenized treasuries, and gold lead the charge. You know, Lance, always gold is leading the charge in things, right? What's your benefits? You have 24/7 trading. Fractional ownership. You can buy $100 of real estate. You buy 100,000 of real estate. And it's instant settlement. Global access anywhere in the world. Maybe you can add outer space soon to that. I don't know. They're going to be building data centers right here. So, and we're going to be living on the moon or Mars. So there you go. You can probably do your crypto there too. And everything works in different ways, but this works, if you look, a legal entity. You have a smart contract, mints tokens. Then you own a share and get yields paid automatically. Isn't that nice? You can get paid automatically. Ethereum dominates because of its security, existing liquidity, and institutional trust. Let me put up another graphic for y'all. We're graphic happy today. We like the graphics. Now, if you look right here, this is Ethereum's 2026 roadmap and why it keeps winning. Look at it right there, right? You have recent Pectra upgrade plus upcoming Glamsterdam. I like how they took that, Lance, from Amsterdam and took it their own name, Glamsterdam.
Yeah.
It's funny. Glamsterdam is acronym is smaller case E than uppercase PBS. And then you got Agosha, which equals faster, cheaper, and more scalable. I know some of these names are weird, but everything you could see, it's up there on the map too. You have staking yields, which is 3.5 to 4% APY with a 30% plus of supply locked. And that is, I'm telling you, it's ultra secure. Now, Lance, we're talking about staking yields and stuff, right? I wonder what's going to happen with this Clarity Act. I wonder if it's going to, if it doesn't go the way we want it, are these staking yields still going to be possible like this?
Well, we're going to be talking a lot about that later in the show.
Oh, okay.
Information we're going to want to share. But at the end of the day, it's a problem. The banks don't want you to have the yields. They don't want that because they're so used to overcharging you on credit card interest, overcharging you on your real estate mortgages, overcharging on your car loans. You name it, they're used to overcharging you. And of course, what do they give you for rewards? Oh, if you put it into a money market and you lock it up, we'll give you 1%. They offer you very little in return to use your money. And they don't want high yields, but the American people want high yields. We're tired of getting jerked around by the banks. So, in this case, when you start looking at what's really going on in Ethereum, the staking yields are really good. 3.5 to 4% APY. 30% of the supply of Ethereum is locked. And there's a reason, because people love that yield. People are using this as a new retirement tool because the yields they're getting are so much higher. It changes the quality of their retirement and the retirement funds returns. So when you start talking about layer twos, they make up the everyday use cheap, while Ethereum stays the settlement layer. And the institutions keep choosing Ethereum. And you know why? Security, liquidity, And of course, it's the most battle-tested network.
Most biggest too.
Yeah, and you have to look at it from that perspective. So, I think the infrastructure layer of the new financial system, Ethereum, it isn't just surviving, and it's becoming the backbone of the tokenized real world finance. From smart contracts that can run themselves to the 1 billion in real assets that are now living on the Ethereum chain. And this is the shift. This is what happens. This isn't speculation. This is going from the speculative phase because we're getting actual utility. You hear about a lot of projects and you always say, it's kind of like what we say about meme coins. They don't really have utility. So they're really just kind of a fly by the seat of their pants, one of those deals that really doesn't have a long-term perspective. Now, some of the meme coins are changing. There are meme coins, some of them that have utility now, but really the altcoins are where it matters. And projects like Ethereum are really taking that real-world application and they're giving you all the reasons of why they're going to be one of the top projects moving forward for a long-ass time. So, listen, these are the things I think you guys should focus on. Smart contracts equal programmable money. That, of course, programmable money executes automatically. So it's kind of like a vending machine forever, right? Real world assets on Ethereum, those are going to equal the potential for fractional ownership of real assets with real yields. It's already happening. They're putting fractional real estate where, like, let's say you want to get a return. They're giving you a return. Say that you want to. I saw a big one that was done where they were doing these, luxury properties that they were Airbnb in Dubai, and you could own part of the luxury property, and the returns were really good, and they sold out because it was a high rate of return with a secure asset. The real estate in Dubai up until the Iran kinetic event has been pretty stable. It's been continuing to go up, 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 up. Dubai, one of the safest places on the entire globe. They've done a good job of marketing. So that's one of those things you really want to keep a pay. So this is an opportunity to own real estate in different parts of the globe that give you an actual year return, a yearly return. So Ethereum is dominating because of the security, because of the liquidity, and because of those two, the massive amount of institutional adoption. So when you look at 26 right now, things are moving. The upgrades are making it faster and cheaper, and they're not sacrificing any of the decentralization. So my thing is this: we always talk about baby steps on the show. I'm telling you, start small. Get a wallet, try a layer 2, right? Stake Ethereum, buy some Ethereum, and then you could stake it, or dip into real world asset token like tokenized treasuries. Go start small, baby steps. You don't need to bet the farm, and then watch how it works. And this is how you're going to build your wealth for the next decade, not by chasing memes, but by understanding the technology that powers the future, the decentralized blockchain world. So this is all important. And when you talk about things like this, you really want to stay focused on the opportunities, George.
Yep. And crypto will create opportunities. We know it's a little stagnant. It just, things happen like that. Stock market, it happens like that. But everybody's waiting for the Clarity Act. And, I know there's some new things that just came out about it. I don't know if you want to talk about it now. I mean, we can before we go to break.
Well, I just want to say this. We should probably take a break, but here's the deal. Just remember this. Follow the show. Hit the follow button and think about how you want to hear about these real world asset conversions, how you can get a higher rate of return with your money. So you want to follow us over here on Rumble. You want to follow us over on Locals and on YouTube. Follow us on social media. We post a lot of current news. We let you know what's coming up as far as interviews. And otherwise, you can follow us at the Crypto Power Hour. You can follow us at Solum Global. And you can also follow us over there at Lance Miliaccio, G. Ballantine, and The Big Mig Show. So here's the deal. Just realize that we do these education pieces regularly. You can go back and watch reruns. They're not stagnant because it's all current top information. And George does an amazing job. So stay tuned. We're going to take a short break here on the Crypto Power Hour. When we come back, the banks just got red-handed. I'm going to tell you all the reasons and what they're doing behind the scenes because they don't want the Clarity Act to pass.
I mean, they got caught red-handed.
Current form. Oh, yeah. We'll be right back here on the Crypto Power Hour with George Ballantine, Lance Miliaccio. Yep, you know how we do it. Tip of the spear.
Don't go nowhere.
In crypto, we trust.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, powered by Solem Global. Here with your hosts, Lance Migliaccio, yours truly, George Ballantine. We got the Crypto Mafia in the chat. You know, I hope you're out there listening, watching. If you can, join the chat. Great people in there, great conversation. And don't forget, hit that thumbs up button. You know, the like button, the share button. Share this on social media. Help educate people. Help us grow the show. Hit the follow button and subscribe if you can. Every little bit helps. But first, I want to give a little something for you guys, because we have the perfect solution for the people who can't watch their crypto 24/7. That's right. I'm talking about Block Trust IRA. You know, the financial elite, they've been quietly building wealth through cryptocurrency, and hardworking Americans have been left behind. Well, not anymore, because their exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This sophisticated technology, once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, now it's available to you. And this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. And our clients are already seeing over 250% returns on their investments, all with military-grade security and up to $200 million insurance. Your wealth is fully protected. So don't wait. Visit BigMigCrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution. Once again, visit BigMigCrypto.com today and you get up to $2,500 of free crypto. The QR code's on the screen next to me. Take a screenshot. The link's in the chat and the link's in the more section under the video. We got you covered. All you got to do is click on it. All right. It's no surprise that this is coming out. I mean, we've been warning about it. We're hoping that this wouldn't happen. But, you know, the banks, they just got caught red-handed. And what's crazy is I'm going to say, the White House, they just dropped this bombshell. They say the greedy bankers refuse to fix stablecoin deal, screwing America to protect their fat margins. Just alone with that statement, here's why I have an issue with. The greedy bankers don't make law. They don't govern. Our elected officials govern. So what does that tell you? The our elected officials are, whatever, in the Senate Bank Committee, whoever it is right now, are taking their cue from the bankers and doing what they want and not doing what really the people of this country want when it comes to cryptocurrency. The banker, who cares if let the bankers refuse. Tough. What does that do? We're in what? Free capitalism, right? Free. Everybody's allowed to, should be able to build their businesses and do well, whatever, however you want to call it. I don't care. But this is not free capitalism if the bankers are being like a monopoly, right? We do have laws against that, but so who's allowing it? Your politicians, because they're the ones that write the law, write the bill. They're the ones that vote on it, and they sign off on it, then it goes to the president's desk. I mean, look, this is a real ugly truth. These banks, I don't know, Lance, these banks are so addicted to their monopoly profits that they won't even show up to meetings that could help everyday Americans earn what? Real yields on their money? How many families are struggling in this country? And why? Because the banks want to give ultra low interest rates on saving accounts? And the bankers want to block stablecoin rewards in the Clarity Act? This is not because of financial stability. It's all pure greed and institutional weakness. This is what Lance calls it, the banking cartel putting their bonuses ahead of their entire country's future. Well, whose fault is it? It's crazy. Actually aggravates me.
But if you think about it, you get invited to the White House to have an in-depth discussion about the Clarity Act and where your reservations are. Can anybody in the audience tell me why you think these bankers didn't show up? Because if you think about it, their livelihood is at risk, right? These are major institutions, and they're concerned that their monopoly, their banking cartel operation is going to take a hit. Because let's face it, even these crypto companies, with what's going on, could easily start doing much lower rate interest loans with liquidity. Ethereum could do it. Right now, of course, this is the area that they're arguing about because the banks want to continue to keep that stranglehold. They want to continue to charge you 30% interest on a credit card. I can tell you why they're not going to these meetings. Because they believe they've already got this under control from all the congressional members that they've been, financially bribing. And I say it's a bribe. Is it a true nature of a bribe? I don't know. When you have a banking institution that believes that they're in control of somebody like Elizabeth Warren, and then you look at all the money that went into her campaigns, and you see all the institutional banking money, well, sure. And they don't have to go to the White House to discuss this because they feel like they've already got it slam dunk because they already can control Congress. We've said it many times, the Federal Reserve, the banking cartels, that's what they do. They have their congressional members that don't care about the American public because they want to continue to get their money, get their deals, be able to do their insider trading, get preferred deals from the bank. They're doing it. And is it enough that Patrick Witt is having to publicly shame the American Bankers Association and its president, Rob Nichols, for ghosting, that February meeting? No. Now listen to this quote. This just tells you everything you need to know about the bankers. I specifically requested the attendance of Mr. Nichols and other bank trade CEOs at the meetings we hosted back in February to resolve the stablecoin rewards yield issue. They refused. I guess the White House was beneath them. No, it's because they don't think they need the White House when they control Congress. And, just days before the Senate Banking Committee's May 14th markup of the Clarity Act, the American Banking Association is now frantically lobbying senators to gut the bill's reward language, claiming stablecoins could compete with deposits. Well, no shit. And why wouldn't we want them to compete with deposits? Of course, the banks don't want customers earning a single penny that might otherwise line their own pockets. They don't want you to get a higher rate of reward. I mean, some of these staking rewards are massive. It could change the timeline on your retirement. It could change if you're already in retirement. And they're, as long as you're in a major project with lots of liquidity like Ethereum, that staking is not very risky. But listen, the White House's own Council of Economic Advisors just crushed them. They're talking about banning this stablecoin yield, which would boost bank lending by a pathetic 2.1 billion, just 0.2% of the total lending. Banks are crying wolf about this. They don't want to give up anything, while the data shows their crisis is imaginary. Now, if you saw that was the Genius Act was showing with that chart George had up there was trying to show you, what happened, the Genius Act's impact on stablecoins. And it was all positive, but it was also positive for the banking world. So Galaxy Research destroys the bank's narrative. They've done it. They say most stablecoin growth would come from offshore dollar demand, actually importing capital into the U.S. financial system. The model they built projects $400 billion to $1.2 trillion in new U.S. credit by 2030, lower treasury borrowing costs, and a massive expansion of dollar dominance. But this is while, of course, all the banks are still claiming stablecoins will destroy lending. Listen, the only thing being destroyed is their cheap deposit gravy train. You know that one where they don't pay you crap for the money that they hold on to in their money market funds, in their freaking savings accounts. And I don't blame the crypto leaders. They're calling out all of this greed. Listen, Coinbase's back Stand with Crypto is urging its supporters to contact senators, exposing the lobbyists' last-minute power play. Of course, what do they want to do? They want to kill consumer rewards. Digital Chamber CEO Cody Carboni slammed the banks for skipping months of talks only to cry foul now. Now that they're doing it intentionally. Listen, I got to say that Bernie Moreno, the senator from Ohio, the Republican, he went nuclear and he blasted the banks on X. He said during the Biden era, these same banks worked hand in glove with Senator Elizabeth Warren and allies to debank Americans, including President Trump's own family. They shut down accounts of conservatives, patriots, and anyone who dared challenge the regime, all while regulators applied pressure under schemes like Operation Choke Point 2.0. It was never about risk. It was about political control. And now that innovative stablecoins threaten to break their monopoly and give you actual financial freedom, they're running to Congress, and I'm going to add this myself, like a bunch of little bitches screaming about threats to economic growth and financial stability. The senator did not add the bitches part. That was strictly me.
Once again, and I'll reiterate this, it's not the bankers that make new laws or write down what's in a law. It's our elected officials that we elect, and they work for us, not the big banking conglomerates. This ain't about
allegedly they work for us, but I sure don't see that in this case.
I said the bankers don't work for us.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you said the bankers allegedly.
No, so we look at it. This isn't about safety or regulation. It's about raw, unfiltered freaking greed. The same weak, entrenched banks that debanked Americans, like Lance was just saying, for political reasons. What are they doing? They're now sabotaging the Clarity Act. Why? Because they want to keep you trapped in their low-yield prison while they rake in billions of dollars. Well, you see all these CEOs get all these high umbrellas, the umbrellas that they get when they retire or leave, all this money. All about greed and control. And you know what? This time this shit's got to stop.
Yeah, and they're refusing to negotiate, which I think in itself should be enough reason to penalize them instantly. They're ignoring the White House. They don't want to negotiate. And they're lying to Congress about all the systemic risk and where there's a lot of systemic risk. No, there's not. The whole thing is this, right now, we, the people, have an opportunity. Stablecoins give us an opportunity to give regular people a shot at the returns banks have hoarded for themselves always. The Senate markup on May 14th is the moment of truth. If lawmakers cave to the banking cartel, I swear I'm literally going to go online and start screaming and cursing at every single one of them They're choosing institutional weakness over America's innovation, consumer freedom, and your money. This would strengthen the dollar, in my opinion. We're also trying to be the crypto capital of the world. How are you going to do that when you got a bunch of bankers trying to shit on our parade? And the banks aren't protecting the country. They're bleeding it freaking dry. My opinion, and I'll get your guys' input, get in the chat, let me know. I think it's time to break the monopoly. And I think we've got to do it before they screw over the entire economy again.
Feds. You know, Lance, we're going to know. I mean, if the Senate plays games with this and takes out these staking yields, and if it does pass, it's going to have to go back to the House because they changed it around, and House is going to have to re-vote on it. And I'm going to.
The question is, how many people in the House?
Let me finish.
Can I finish? How many people in the House?
But you didn't let me finish. That's what I was going to say. How many? Let's see if Speaker Johnson even wants to bring it to the floor for vote. Number one, and there's a lot of people in Congress that are in debt to the bankers. That's the second thing. Third thing, if they do pass the Senate, goes to the House, and they pass it, will Trump sign that bullshit, or will he stand up and veto it? And that's when you know if you have a true crypto president.
Yeah, those staking rewards, you need them. They'll change your life. And you know what? F you, these bankers. The hell with them. They've had a stranglehold on the American people for far too long. By the way, George, I'm just curious, what happened to our 10% credit card interest?
I told you that's something that Trump suggested. He can't make them do that. Well, I don't know, but the banks and stuff are not going to do that. They lose money.
Yeah. So every time you use your credit card, remember how the banks are just shoving it up your rear end with that 30% interest. All right, let's talk about, this is a new project, and I just thought maybe some people had some curiosity about it. What is Global Digital Oil Reserve, GDOR? That's the Solana oil token. And it's emerging as one of the global digital oil reserves, the latest trending breakout crypto searches as traders speculate around oil-backed digital asset narratives. And of course, this is all on the Solana backbone, all on the blockchain on Solana. And this project, it's gained a lot of rapid visibility across the crypto communities. It seems like the search term GDOR crypto is really, booming on the search engines. Also how to buy GDOR. So when I saw that, I thought, okay, well, let's look for a story. Let's build a story about this. And of course, all that trending on Google really tells you that when something is starting to move. So of course, despite its growing hype, the token remains highly speculative and it's very controversial. None of this is financial advice. And some people are questioning whether the project is truly backed by real world oil reserves. So I think this is everything that the traders need to know, George. Let's talk about the GDOR token, maybe oil reserve, the narrative itself, the potential risks, and why it's suddenly trending in the crypto market.
I mean, okay, so what is the Global Digital Oil Reserve? GDOR is the acronym. I love these acronyms. It's a Solana-based crypto project that claims to connect digital tokens with real-world oil reserve narratives. You know what, Lance, does this sound like? Something what Solon Global is doing with the gold, in essence, right? Pretty much same.
I think it's similar.
Narrative. Yeah,
sure.
The token markets itself as part of a broader commodity-linked crypto movement that is going to actually attempt to combine blockchain technology with energy-backed assets. Sounds like a winner to me. If you look at like the publicly available traded token trackers, GDOR currently operates on the Solana blockchain and has a circulating supply of close to, I think, 891 million tokens. Now, this idea behind GDOR, it actually reflects a broader trend in crypto markets where projects attempt to tokenize commodities. And I'm going to say this, oil reserve. I just said gold, and Solon Global is in the process of doing that right now. Energy infrastructure and real-world assets. And this is real popular among traders, and I think it's a new wave of ways to make money with the blockchain, besides using the terminology crypto. But when you have all these...
It's opening up the capital markets. When you start looking at infrastructure, when you're, let's say, you've got oil in a property, you've done the testing, it's there. All that infrastructure costs money. And normally when you try to secure an oil project or a gold mine, you have proof that all the gold's in the ground, but you'll have to secure the money you need to build out the mine itself. at extremely low market value. That's the difference of this. And that's what GDOR is trying to access, just like Solum Global is doing, like Gold, like George so accurately pointed out. Look, listen, there's a reason it's surging, because if you can get access to capital at, at a much lower rate than the current model, well, of course, these projects that are kind of lingering around waiting to get, access to the big financial markets, they don't have to linger around. That could increase oil reserve production. It could increase gold production. It could increase silver, zinc, lead, copper, energy infrastructure. A lot of these data centers and a lot of the new power sources are trying to access capital, and they're looking and putting their projects on the chain, and they're doing a real world asset money raise. And there's going to be more and more of this, which also is going to help cut out a lot of the middlemen. So the return on these investments, assuming these are successful, is going to be much higher for you, the regular person that's investing. Because, sure, Morgan Stanley and all the big houses, Goldman Sachs, all the big ones have always had access to that and always did historically. You didn't get that opportunity to get on the front end of it. Now you do, because that's what this does. And of course, GDOR is not any different. They're gaining traction on the Solana ecosystem because people are looking for high volatility, narrative-driven tokens. And so when traders are looking for that next high volatility Solana tokens, that's what moves the market. That's how guys buy in early. They make it. But the question, some people are coming out of line, and I don't blame them, because you're always wondering about this. Is GDOR actually backed by oil reserves? The question is, even though GDOR positions itself around oil reserves and energy-backed narratives, there is currently, and I want you to listen closely, no publicly verified audit, documentation, or even institutional confirmation that would prove that the token is directly backed by physical oil reserves. So a lot of the crypto market observers that no reserve audits have been released. They're saying no verified oil partnerships have been confirmed, and no transparent custody structure has been publicly established. So you have to think about it. Is GDOR, is it a highly speculative narrative-driven token rather than a fully verified commodity-backed asset? And that becomes crucial in these tokens. In the case of Solum, they're actually, getting ownership in the mining groups that they're working with on tokenizing in-ground, mineral assets. So for traders on this one, the distinction is really important. So remember what I said. Is GDOR a highly speculative narrative-driven token, right? Much like a meme coin can end up being? Or is it a fully verified and vetted commodity-backed asset? And that difference makes all the difference in volatility. And I think if GDOR is representing that it's a verifiable asset-based token, then it needs to prove it. Right now you might be looking at speculative momentum, breakout trader activity, social media push, right? Or social media discussions. And you've got what I would consider very low market liquidity. So until some of those things change, this is one of those ones I keep an eye on it because it has a lot of potential, but I would be hesitant to really push too far forward.
Well,
And,
it's funny you say that, because I got to, before you invest in projects like this or any projects, always verify, check the information, evaluate it. And something like GDOR, you can look and evaluate for token liquidity, verify the partnerships, audit transparency. I know Solon Global has done audits, and they're verifiable and they're transparent because they're by independent audit companies. So you have to also see if they're circulating supply. Is there any market manipulation risk? Could be, and any on-chain activity. Always verify and be careful. That's a must. You always got to look for.
All right. So,
go ahead.
What's important to take from this story for you is that the rise of commodity-backed crypto narratives, right? So, there is broader interest on projects like this, and of course, even around GDOR, because you have to look at the growing market attention, and that's that growing market attention we talked about earlier in the show, which is the real-world asset tokenization. So these crypto markets, are increasingly reacting very quickly, maybe preemptively, maybe too soon. When they start thinking about commodity-backed crypto. So, look, you've got a lot of projects that are out there. You got treasury products, commodities, real estate, energy infrastructure. And, the big names are in. You got BlackRock, JP Morgan, and they've already expanded tokenization related to these initiatives across the blockchain ecosystems. And of course, that curiosity, that demand is what's going to drive the market. So I think the answer on GDOR is, when you ask the question, should traders be worried or be careful? My answer would be a resounding yes at this time. I think you always have to approach highly speculative, low cap tokens. I think you have to do it carefully, right? First, I think you have to look at, when you're looking at asset backing claims, are they verified or are they unverified? In the case of GDOR, they're unverified. So think about it like this. You have to evaluate the things you can find, like token liquidity. Look for verified partnerships, not because it's listed on their website.
I said this, Lance.
Yeah, I want them to do all that stuff. So pay attention to that. It's important. Stay on top of it, and we'll keep moving forward here. We got some news coming out of Brad Garlinghouse, George.
We do, and he's went on to finally reveal if XRP holders benefit by Ripple's success. I can tell you, me and Lance are XRP holders. Am I benefiting by their success right now? No, I'm not. We are not. I mean, it is a debated topic in the XRP community, and people ask, does holding XRP actually translate into direct financial benefit from Ripple's commercial success as a company? And they have secured a lot of contracts, making a lot of big moves, but it's just not translating into the XRP token going up. And some people can, say, oh, it's because of the Clarity Act, which I believe Lance also believes, it's holding a lot of cryptos from going up in price. It's holding everything, because when there's speculation and there's no derivative answer, people tend to take a step back and not with their money. So, I mean, they take caution, which is fine. It's good. But Garlinghouse actually said he hopes XRP holders feel they are benefiting from Ripple's existence through the work the company does to catalyze activity within the XRP ecosystem. Every acquisition, every investment, every partnership Ripple pursues is evaluated in part through the lens of how it drives XRP adoption and utility. Well, I should hope so, because that's what they want. It's just not driving the price up. And you know what, Lance? I mean, we could talk, say, like, you could see an XRP boom if the Clarity Act passes and in favor, it does, what it's supposed to be intended for. You could see all of a sudden XRP take a big jump because they've been doing all this work, securing all these partnerships, making investments. Or it could just stay stagnant. I don't know. I believe it was going to jump up. That's why we're holding. So, you have the question on whether Ripple would do something specific for XRP holders if and when the company goes public. And guess what Garland said? It was possible, but not something being planned in the immediate term. That's like telling a kid if they want to do something, when parents say, we'll see, it really means no, but
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. That's what that says to me. So,
I mean, Brad, if you love the XRP family, maybe burn half the tokens. He says, I freaking love the XRP family. I want to do things that are good for the XRP community. It is a driving mission. Well, fantastic, but nobody's feeling the love, Brad. This token just is lingering around and nobody really can put their finger as to why. It appears that it should just be going through the roof because of all these relationships. But I think wishy-washy answers like this don't help. In this discussion, he pointed to Evernorth, a digital asset treasury company Ripple has been supporting as an example of the approach. Ripple views a high-quality XRP-focused treasury company as good for the XRP community, good for Ripple's shareholders, and good for the broader ecosystem simultaneously. And what does that mean for the XRP holders? Well, Garlinghouse just stopped short of promising any direct financial mechanism linking Ripple's corporate success to XRP holders. There's no dividend structure, no buyback program, and no confirmed IPO benefit for token holders on the table right now. And what he described instead is an alignment of incentives. He said Ripple's commercial success in his framing is designed to create conditions where XRP becomes more useful, more adopted, and more liquid. The benefit to holders is indirect but intentional. But is it intentional for Ripple and to benefit Brad Garlinghouse and the shareholders, or is it intentional to help the XRP holders, the most loyal holders probably in the whole blockchain ecosphere? Lots of people out there are critical. I'm a believer in XRP, but I think Brad Garlinghouse has to choose his words more wisely, and he has to be more definitive. And maybe it's time for a token burn, Brad. Maybe it's time to put your money where your mouth is if you want to help XRP holders, and maybe burn 30% of the supply and watch it jump. Maybe get it moving in the right direction. So I would tell him that I think in the future he needs to do a better job of translating and giving maybe thinking about what could really be different for XRP holders. All right. I don't like this trip. George, I think I got to let you carry away. I'm afraid I'm going to get too negative here. Donald Trump going to China. I don't know why he's got so damn many corporate CEO executives in tow, why they've all been able to hitch a ride on Air Force One. He's got 17 CEOs across tech, finance, and aerospace.
Let me just stop you there for 1 second. Because you know what? The one community is going to go crazy because of that number 17. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've got the lineup. You guys tell me. I don't, George, maybe I'm just negative Nelly. I'm tired of Donald Trump seeming to just, grab all the billionaires and they're all going to go along for the ride. And then, I'm surprised Jared Kushner hasn't snuck his way onto the plane here somewhere. Everything with him, the minute he smells money, he's on there like a rat.
I mean, not for nothing. All these big names, these billionaires and stuff, they can fly their own private planes, which they all have, go to China and meet with Xi Jinping without Trump. There's more going on with Trump's.
Well, what do you think's going on, Jerry? Why don't you take it away and you tell me, because I'm kind of tired of this bullshit. I got to be honest.
I don't know what his intentions are. I mean, all these CEOs are all crypto friendly and stuff. Is that? I mean, Xi Jinping in China, they're into crypto. They just want to control everybody's crypto wallets and stuff. Make sure you're not doing anything nefarious. That's the only bad thing about them. But I mean, why he's doing this? I don't know. Maybe it's a power move for the USA. Trump.
Honestly, Tim Cook. Seriously, Tim Cook, the guy that's been so vocal. His news on Apple phones, on iPhones, is just complete left-leaning trash 90% of the time.
Tim Cook was in the Oval Office and they gave Trump some award or something. But Tim Cook, yeah. Why? You're talking about the iPhone. Some of it's built in China. I know they moved part of it, but you go there and use Tim Cook as leverage. Hey, we're going to move all of Apple products out here and build it in India or wherever they're going to do it. You don't think Xi Jinping is going to think back, take a step back? Does BlackRock have investments in China? Blackstone? I'm pretty sure they do. Do they want, look, you have Boeing. There's a lot of big things here. I mean, that's a lot of, I don't know what's the word? That's a lot of power with all these people going. And I know Trump wants to go there, and of course he wants to get them to buy more soybeans. Ooh, all right, great for the farmers. I'm happy for the farmers.
Well, like Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, Meta, the same group that shit all over Donald Trump with $400 and some plus billion.
Yeah, but we keep going back to that. But obviously Trump put that past him, and whatever, he settled the money lawsuit, and then he's been at all the other big tech things at the White House. Whatever, he's doing it. But who knows? Like I said, maybe not one person is powerful, but like collective whole, these 17, that's a powerful group. They could put a lot of damage on Xi Jinping, I guess, if they wanted to, tech wise. But also, it'd be good for these guys to go there and and sit with Xi Jinping and say, stop stealing intellectual property. Because they're known for that. And that's something that hurts a lot of Americans. How much counterfeit stuff comes out of China? That needs to stop. Are they going to do it? We'll see what happens. But we'll only find out once after the visit. I'm guessing tomorrow night, Trump, I think, arrives there. He should be arriving. I don't know if he arrived yet or he should be arriving. It's like almost like a 12 to 17 hour flight. So we'll see. I mean, look, we'll find out more. Maybe we'll have more news when the Big show starts. I don't know. We'll be watching that. Should be interesting. Still a lot of power, though. And a number 17. Oh, I said it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll hold my reservations. We'll see what happens. Sounds like he's just over there being helping them with orders, but I don't know.
Yeah.
This seems a little bit too manipulative in my case, in my opinion. So, all right, listen, if you love the Crypto Power Hour, you know the drill. Thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. You can do the paid subscription. Please do. It's only $5 a month, guys. It's a great way to thank the team over here at the Big Mig Show and thank us here on the Crypto Power Hour. And don't forget to follow G. Ballantine, the Big Mig Show, Lance Miliaccio, Solum Global, and the Crypto Power Hour over on X. Find us on YouTube, Crypto Power Hour and the Big Mig Show. Hit the follow on both of those. Hit the follow buttons on Rumble for the Big Mig Show and the Crypto Power Hour. And, of course, the same thing on Locals. We love you guys, and thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for making us the #1 crypto show on Rumble. We appreciate your vote of confidence because we believe your time is the most valuable commodity that you have. Listen, stay blessed, and we'll see you at 11 o'clock. George, last words.
Don't forget, listen, you want to throw some crypto in our Rumble wallet, it's there. All you got to do is click on it and send some crypto our way. But you all have a blessed day. We'll see you at 11 o'clock for the Big Mig Show. Peace.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.